Shalom, giving honor and praise unto the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshiah Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. I call this one here from Yeshiah to Ahabah, 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 1 in Hebrew explained. Next slide. Shalom. This is easier than it seems. Remember, sister, when you showed me how to deal with the making of a presentation and how I did not know how to do so, yet it was easy when I got the information and applied it? The same goes with Hebrew. The advice I have is to learn the words or vocabulary. That is to say, Otzar Melim, meaning vocabulary or treasure words. You use often in English, and you will see how easy it is to glean from it. If one is a chef, one will want to know how to say cook, food, pot, pan, fire, prepare, etc. in Hebrew. Those words will click to a chef easier. Shalom. Shalom, sister, a fundamental aspect. Once one knows how to state the alphabet and the vowels, one is a reader. Link will be posted in the description for such. In this presentation, we will go over 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 1, and having it color-coded will explain how Hebrew is read. One, at first, need not focus on the translation, since we are going by steps, and the steps we are at now is one reading. This is a big step. Never think Hebrew is hard or difficult. Hebrew is easy. Let's get started. 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 1. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the princes of the fathers' houses of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. Now the Hebrew on the right-hand side says this: Az Yakel Shalomo et Zikne Yisrael et Kal Rashe Hamatot Nisi Eha Abot Libne Yisrael El Hamelech Shalomo Yerushalam Laha'alot et Aaron Barit Yah Meir David He Zion. All right, so this is just something to go over for edification purposes. Now, what we want to do in the next several slides is explain and expound upon what we have just read. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 1. The reason why I didn't read this and I stayed silent while this slide is up is for you, sister, to read it, take your time, pause it if you have to, go back to the previous slide and compare what you just read to what was read previously. It's the same exact thing. If you make a mistake, so be it, such as life. You understand? But I just wanted to show you and encourage you to be able to read Hebrew on your own as we did the other day. Next slide. Information regarding the presentation. Az Yakel Shalomo El. Let's start over. See, I made a mistake, such as life. Az Yakel Shalomo Et Zikne Yisrael Et Ka Rashe Hamatot Nisi Eha Abot Libne Yisrael El Hamelech Shalomo Yerushalam Laha'alot Et Aaron Barit Yah Meir David He Zion. The black word can be found in the verb book on page 255. Now, the verb book, sister, that I'm talking about is the 201 verb book that we went over before. When you look in that book on page 255, you will see that word there in the black. All right? The lamed is showing the infinitive of such. Remember, let's just look at this black word right here. The lamed that you see there is showing it to be its infinitive. So let's go on to the next slide. Thank you. The sentence explained in part of speech. All right. Az yakhel shalomo et zikne Yisrael et ka rashe hamato nisi Ahabah libne Yisrael el hamelech shalomo Yerushalayim laha'alot et aron barityah me'ir David hi Zion. The black letters are nouns. The purple word is a verb. The yod you see there is a prefix. So let's look at the top line in the second word. There are 4 letters to that word, okay? The purple part you see there is the root. In root is the word quihel, which means to assemble, okay? That word is not in the 201 verb book, but it's a verb nonetheless. That yod you see there, all right, serves as a prefix. So that shows you to be part of the future tense. So let's look at all of the words that's color-coded in black, because those are the nouns. Shlomo, Solomon, a person, a noun. Zikne, elders of, people, noun. Yisrael, a people, noun. Rashe, chiefs of or heads of, a noun. Matot, tribes, people, noun. Nisi, princes of, a people, noun. Abot, fathers, a people, noun. Bene, sons of, children of, a people, noun. Yisrael, Israel, a people, noun. Melech, king, a people, noun. Shlomo, Solomon, a person, a noun. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, a place. Aron Berit, the Ark of the Covenant, a thing, a noun. Ir, city, a place, a noun. Dawid, David, a person, noun. Zion, a place, a noun. So what we just went over was all of the parts in this particular verse that's highlighted in black in 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 1 showing the nouns. Next slide. Explanation. Az yakel, the first 2 words of the verse. Then he assembled. To assemble is the verb quahal. Page 265 in the Hebrew dictionary you have. On the Hebrew English side. Now, the Ben Yehuda Hebrew English dictionary you have has the English to the Hebrew, then the Hebrew to the English. So when you go to page 265, on the Hebrew to the English side, you will look and see that word kuf, hey, lamed, meaning to assemble. Okay? Et Shlomo, Solomon. Shlomo et. Solomon is a person, so it's a noun. Zikne Yisrael, the elders of Israel. Next slide. Explanation 2. Et kal. Kal means what? Each, every, or all. Rashe hamatot, the heads of, the leaders of the tribes. The word for tribe, branch, staff is mate. The word matot is the plural of such. The Si'eh ha'abot, the princes of the fathers. Also noun, because it's people. The word Nisi'eh comes from the word Nasi, meaning prince, but its root comes from the word Nasa. Verb book, page 224, meaning to carry, to take, or to marry. Now, when you go into 201 verb book on page 224, you will see that the noon, the sin, and the aleph is there. Nasa, that's a verb, and it means to carry, to take, or to marry. All right? The word abot means fathers, coming from the word ab, meaning father. Next slide. Explanation 3. Libne Yisrael. We should pay attention to the aspect of the shawah under the bet letter. This shows that it is joined with the letter preceding it. This being, in this case, the lamed. So when you look at libne, the bet that you see there, sister, all right, has a shawah. So you join it on with the sound previous to it. Now, if you see a shawah with the first letter of the word, you just say the sound that the letter makes. All right? We should pay attention to the shawah in the second word. That too having the shawah with it. That, like any other time, a shawah is with a letter, is joined with the sound preceding it. You will never see a shawah with the first and second letter of any word. I want to emphasize that. You will never see a shawah being with the first letter and the second letter of any word. You may see it with the first letter and the third letter, maybe the second letter and the third letter, the first letter and the fourth letter, the second letter and the fourth letter, the third letter and the fourth letter. But you will never see a shawah with both the first letter and the second letter. Next slide. Explanation 4. El Hamelech, to the king. This can be said also as La Melech. La means to or for the. La means to the or for the. Refer to Hebrew lesson 15 on the channel. Melech is the noun of the verb malak. Malak, page 182 in the verb book, means to reign. As one progresses in Hebrew, one will see that malak also means one who takes counsel. Look at the Nifal stem on the page system. Shlomo Yerushalayim. Explanation 5. Laha'alot et Aron Barit. The word you see there can be found in the verb book on page 255. The lamed in the beginning shows it to be to, whatever the verb is. If the lamed is dropped, we see ha'alot, and the hay shown in the blue shows it to be part of the hif'il stem. As explained, remember, Hebrew is not hard. Let's continue. I wanted to emphasize that because now it may seem I'm talking into something else, but we must remember Hebrew is not hard. It's not difficult. As explained, the hif'il is generally the causative of the qala stem. On page 255, you will see hif'il as part of the subtitle. The Hebrew word seen there is ha'alot. If we drop the hay off, we are left with alot. This means the suffix is the ot. The ot, not plural in this case. In many cases, the ot is the feminine plural, however. The hay in the root of the word drops. Further explanation on the next slide. Explanation 6. Laha'alot. This word we see is laha'alot. Let us go, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. Okay?
Peace, peace, peace. What you're looking at right here is the 201 verb book, and we are on page 254. Now, under what you see here called the qal stem, right, the root word there is Allah, Allah, all right, to go up or to rise. All right, the qal stem or qual stem also is essentially what they refer to as the simple active. All right, so as you see here, the nif'al stem, all right, to be taken up, to withdraw. All right, that root word there being what? Na'a le. But let's focus on why this video is being presented in the first place. On page 255 of this verb book, we see this here. All right, I wanted to pay close attention to this part here that has the word hifil. The root word still being the same. All right, however, when it's conjugated in this V, as you know, stands for 5. The fifth stem here is he'elah. As you see, he'elah, as you see here. Now, the key word we want to focus on, as you see here, past tense, future tense, present tense, imperative, gerund. All right? It's also called the infinitive. Is this word right here. The third word that you see, the lamed, the hay, the ayin, lamed, waw, tau, laha'alot. This is the word that we want to focus on. And as you see, the translation is to bring up or to raise. This is the causative. This lamed, as you see there, serves as a prefix, to. Then as shown in the PowerPoint, ha'alot, drop off that hay also serving as a part of the prefix, you get the word alot. Now this here serves as the suffix, the ot. Drop that off. All you left is with the ayin and the lamed, which takes you back to its roots. All right, this here initially dropping off when you conjugate it in this particular stem. All right, so this is just something we want to point out for reference purposes. As stated, the language is easy. All right, peace. Have a good day. Peace, peace, peace. What you're looking at right here is the 201 verb book, and we are on page 254. Now, under what you see here called the call stem, right, the root word there is Allah, Allah, all right, to go up or to rise. All right, the call stem or qual stem also is essentially what they refer to as the simple active. All right, so as you see here, the nif'al stem, all right, to be taken up, to withdraw. All right, that root word there being what? Na'a, le. But let's focus on why this video is being presented in the first place. On page 255 of this verb book, we see this here. All right, I wanted to pay close attention to this part here that has the word he feel. The root word still being the same. All right, however, when it's conjugated in this V, as you know, stands for 5. The fifth stem here is he'elah. As you see, he'elah, as you see here. Now, the key word we want to focus on, as you see here, past tense, future tense, present tense, imperative, gerund. All right? It's also called the infinitive. Is this word right here. The third word that you see, the lamed, the hey, the ayin, lamed, waw, tau, alot. This is the word that we want to focus on. And as you see, the translation is to bring up or to raise. This is the causative. This lamed, as you see there, serves as a prefix, to. Then as shown in the PowerPoint, ha'alot, drop off that hey, also serving as a part of the prefix, you get the word alot. Now this here serves as the suffix, the ot. Drop that off. All you left is with the ayin and the lamed, which takes you back to its roots. All right, this hey initially dropping off when you conjugate it in this particular stem. All right, so this is just something we want to point out for reference purposes. As stated, the language is easy. All right, peace. Have a good day.
Explanation 7. He ziyon. The word he means she or it is. So he means she is or it is. If you're saying it means it is, whatever it is feminine. All right? Ziyon is from the root word ziyin, seen in the verb book on page 294. Ziyon, said in Hebrew, transliteration is Zion, meaning distinguished. The word zuyan means excellent. The aspect of the mem as a prefix will be discussed in the next Hebrew presentation for you, sister. Next slide. Conclusion. Shalom. This was for anyone interested in such a presentation. However, it was geared toward my court sister, the sister that I'm courting with, Ahabah bat Lewi, who, yes, I love and appreciate, and who stood by me when I had to make difficult decisions, and was an ear to me when I needed to quote-unquote vent. A person who I cherish and want to be a better man toward, and who I miss when we depart to our separate places. Shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshiah Yisrael. Check the description for videos that this video addressed. Shalom Lakem.